Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are talking about Travis Kelce's response to, are you excited for President Trump coming to see your game? Oh yeah, it's quite an honor. There's 1,700,000 things else you could have said, not just about Trump, but about a man who tweeted that he hates your girlfriend, okay? Now, Taylor Swift better have had words with that man. Because I just don't, say what you want about Taylor Swift, this economy moving shorty deserves a little bit more respect from her boyfriend than that, okay? That, I was actually upset for her for that. Because not only did, I don't know if you saw Jalen Hurts' response to a similar question of, is there added pressure because of President Trump? No, ma'am. Looks to the left. Next question. These people are PR trained. So I just don't understand. Is it the CTE? Like, why would that come out of his mouth because your girlfriend is someone that you cannot snub like that on a public stage? And I think it's interesting because, he's not just like a brainless football player. He wants to be a household name. His desire for himself has been made very clear. He wants to be a household name. He wants to be the kind of person who can, and I said this before, when you're an athlete, when you're a football player, their longevity lies in their media training and in their media personality, because you can't play football forever. So you need to be liked. You need to be a person that people trust to transcend your athletic brand into a lifestyle brand. And he wants to be that. He's shown in every year for probably over a decade that he is interested in becoming a household name. And that's partly why you would date someone like Taylor Swift. Do you date someone like Taylor Swift to say you're honored by the guy who tweeted that he hates your girlfriend? And now the question does remain, did he vote for him? Did Travis Kelce vote for Donald Trump? And again, Taylor always endorses the left, and she's one of the only actually mega star celebrities that you can mostly count on to do that I can think of. And so for him to be so publicly, some people are saying that it's a neutral statement, which I do not agree. But if you were to believe that, because he said no matter who the president is, first of all, neutrality is generally right-leaning. You should remember that. 9 times out of 10, if you're keeping the peace, you know what you need to think about when you're thinking about keeping the peace? Think of peacekeepers in Hunger Games. That was the point of those. The peacekeepers are people who keep up the laws of violence and oppression for certain people. They keep the peace for certain people. I could go off about this when it comes to the fact that sometimes when you're a person of color in relationship with white women, they will sometimes have issues with accountability, issues with confrontation because they want to keep the peace for themselves, which conveniently excludes you and leaves you unheard and used and abused. Conveniently, that silent code benefits the oppressor. So don't come at me with this no matter who the president is. That is the same narrative as, there's good people on both sides. It's also similar to saying both sides are equally bad. Certain things are egregious lies, okay? So to say no matter who the president is, it's an honor, gives a scapegoat to hate, to evil, to things that literally are disrespectful and dehumanizing to so many people's existence. So many people who have a marginalized identity, or who is a woman or a transgender person or a gay person or a person who doesn't identify as strictly female or strictly male. or somebody who just respects intelligence, in my opinion, and like true information and science that's disrespectful to all these people's identities. And so for Travis Kelce to have that moment to say something other than it's an honor, to be something other than complicit, he had a moment. He had his moment. And I can't even just say that he wasted it. I would say he really showed who he is in that moment. And in that moment, I don't think somebody who votes for Kamala believes like, oh yeah, it's an honor for Trump to see me and look at me. It's just like, you could have said so many other things. And so I think the fact that he's obviously very media trained, he thinks of himself as a household name, he knows what he's doing. And so when people tell you who they are, you do need to believe them. And whether or not Taylor Swift will actually care about that, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know, part of me is like, I could see her being really upset. On the other hand, you do need to remember she was raised as a rich, blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman in the South. And the reason her first album did really well is because her dad bought part of a record label or something. Not to say she's not talented. She's obviously very talented, but sometimes I think the insidiousness of like white privilege, specifically in like, a billionaire, is that she does have the choice to opt out of the oppression, and she does have a choice to opt out of caring. Now, whether or not she does, I'm not sure. She's not so quick to the public that I think we could say we knew her personality. And I don't think anybody on that level is. I don't think Beyonce is either. I just think it's a shame. It's a shame that, I don't know. It really doesn't sit right with me that like, especially I really do think that his career has been benefited by Taylor Swift, who has been so vocally Democrat, but also is just a woman. And so I think it's gross when anybody appears like a Trump sympathizer who is benefiting from like a woman or a person of color or somebody who is like very publicly left leaning and cares about human rights. And it's just like, what are you doing? Why would you say these things? I don't know. But then I also was thinking about, his like yelling at his coach last year. I was like, okay, things are actually starting to line up if you think about it that way. But, this is what I'm saying. You see Taylor dancing to Not Like Us at the Grammys, and you're like, oh, like, maybe she's cool. Like, maybe she gets it, whatever. But if her boyfriend is saying this kind of thing, and she's still with him, and she condones it, like, that is the opposite of Not Like Us. That is going with the program. That is going with the alt-right. That is going with the regression of human rights. And it's scary. It's scary. It's not just pop culture. It's actually scary. I digress. Back into pop culture. I've been watching Traitors. I'm obsessed with Traitors. All I watch is Traitors. All day, all night. Traitors. And I just finished the last episode. Season 3, episode 7. Spoilers ahead. You know you're in trouble if Tom Sandoval is catching on to you. As soon as I saw Tom Sandoval go, it's kind of weird. Boston Rob actually has a lot of evidence against him. I went, oh, Boston Rob is cooked. He's cooked. Tom Sandoval is onto you. And I think it's funny because Dylan and Tom Sandoval, I love when they were like doing that marriage scene and they were, everybody who was married, I was like, you're actually kind of representing each other in a different font in a way that's kind of adorable. But Tom Sandoval and Dylan Efron, is his name Dylan? They are actually the same person in a different font. Because they're both generally kind of clueless presenting, but one of them seems nicer than the other. So then when Tom was saying his theory, Dylan was just laughing at him like, yeah, right, like, you're crazy. But he actually was onto him. And that's when I knew Rob was going to be cooked. And even though, like, he tried his best, he came in kind of, like, as somebody that you're going to think is a villain already, and then he wanted to be the villain, and then he was. And then he also played his cards very boldly the whole time. He never did, since he became a traitor, did he not kind of determine who went out every single round table and every single murder? Like, he was kind of controlling the whole game. Which caused Danielle to freak out on Caroline, which I did not like, because I think Danielle and Caroline could have made it to the end as, like, friends. Now I don't know if they'll trust each other, even if right now they are working together and it seems okay because Danielle has no choice but to trust Carolyn. I think that Carolyn will backstab Danielle at the last second because I would, to get my lick back. Because Danielle was the first time that Carolyn's name was ever thrown out as a traitor. So it's just like, you can't trust someone once they do that. Anyways, I'm also watching Almost Pregnant, Amy Schumer's new movie. I always think about how Amy Schumer called herself the most successful female comedian of all time. And so those are big shoes to fill. So I'm watching. It better make me laugh my ass off. Let me know your thoughts down below. And any other movie recs, because I'm in a movie mood lately. But yeah, thank you for watching and or listening. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!